Good. Not like my... All right, we'll work on this. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to LA2M. My name is Jim Musial. And get these meetings started each month. So thanks for being here today. It's a nice, beautiful, hot day, but I'm hoping it's going to turn on. We'll work on that. Sorry about the microphone. Glad everyone's here. I know we have some first timers here, so we're excited for you guys to be here and check out LA2M. LA2M is a nonprofit organization. This is our 8th season, and we are really excited about the speakers that we have brought in, the ones that are coming in, and we're really excited to hear from Kevin today about another tool that we can use in our businesses. So. Getting some feedback there. Sorry. So a little bit about LA2M for the newer people. We are a nonprofit, like I said. We're in our 8th season. We started as a small group of guys getting together, talking about marketing ideas and sharing them, and it's grown into a larger organization. We meet the second Wednesday of every month right here at Conor O'Neill's, and we bring in fantastic speakers to share marketing tips and ideas that will help you grow and market your business. So we do. As a nonprofit, we all volunteer our time. I volunteer my time to help coordinate and organize the meetups. Roger volunteers his time on video. Carter up here volunteers his time for photography. Kathy at the back checking in is a volunteer. So we are a group of volunteers that try to keep this going. We've had some express a few people who are going to come and join us to help us. So if you'd like to be involved with LA2M, talk to me about it, and we will certainly be happy to have you come be a part of us and help us organize these meetings each month. We will meet every single month. So we used to take the summer off, but we're going to keep going since we're only once a month. So we do have July and August speakers already booked as well, and it's going to be some great topics. So I think that's about it in regard to LA2M. For the new people, you can order lunch. Menus are on the table, and some of you already have lunch. Those staff will be coming around. And so what we're going to do is I'll turn the floor over to Kevin in a minute, and he's going to speak for about 45 minutes, 40-45 minutes we'll have, and go through his presentation. If you have some questions, I know you got some literature, so we really appreciate Kevin bringing some things to follow along, which is great to have visuals. So you can follow along with Kevin. If you got some questions, I'm sure he wouldn't mind you asking a question, but we'll also provide some time at the end for Q&A. And then what we can do at the end, hopefully I'll have the microphone working by then, is we'll pass the microphone and everyone will get a chance to introduce themselves, tell us what you do, and if you have an ask or need, you can use that time to do that, share that, and then afterwards we can stick around and network, and hopefully you'll hear or see some people that you might want to connect with that may be having something that you are interested in. And that's one of the better things about LA2M is we get the chance to network and meet each other. It's a great group of network of people, and we continue to grow that. So I won't take any more of his time. Please help me and welcome Kevin. Sorry, I'm going to get it fixed.
All right. Hi everybody, I am Kevin Suboski, and I am an EOS implementer. Thanks for taking the time today, and it's nice to meet all of you. I've known about LA2M for a long time. It's been kind of an Ann Arbor institution. So can everybody hear me in the back? I usually have, but I'm pretty good at projecting, but if I sort of fade, let me know. And it's always, I feel so lonely up here. If any of you want to come up, there's these 2 empty tables. I'm trapped here behind this because of the video, and I need people next to me. But so what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about a set of tools that's really going to help you run your business better. How many of you here are the CEO of your company? How many of you are solopreneurs, or just a few people? Do any of you have a big company, or like 5 or more people, employees? Oh, thank you.
Sorry, folks.
It'd be better if you could just turn it off. That background noise is gonna make me have spasms. So, no employees. Okay, so we're gonna talk about EOS, and I'm gonna sort of adjust it to the audience, and so we're gonna make that work for you. A lot of the tools of EOS. So all of the tools of EOS are important for big companies. I'm going to talk to you about some of the ones that are most important for the small companies. But before I get there, let me give you a little bit of background about me. So I've been in business for about 24 years. My business, I started in IT, but I was a very process, procedure, disciplines kind of a guy. The human beings in IT. I've always been unnaturally interested in collaboration of people. I've studied neurology, biology, philosophy, linguistics to try to understand human beings and how they work together, to the end of so that I could be a great leader in my business and I could help my clients be great leaders. And so this has been a lifetime fascination for me, and I've studied hard and applied it. So I grew my business to about 30 people, really got tired of IT, got tired of big companies, and I really love small business. And so I decided to take a lot of the stuff that I'd learned and see if it could be valuable to other people running a business. And what I found was, I studied years on really arcane sort of insights into how people behave. And what I found was, well, that's fascinating to me. Most people I talk to them about it, they say, that's awesome, Kevin, but my hair's on fire. I got stuff to do. So can you dumb this down and just tell me what to do? And so I heard that enough so that I heeded the request, and I went out and I found systems. Just walk these cow paths. Just walk these cow paths and good things will happen. Well, I tried a couple systems, and most systems I found are designed for how we wish people were rather than how they really are. I found the book Traction that documents the system, Entrepreneurial Operating System, about 5 years ago, and I said he gets it. He understands human beings. He understands how to design a system that works. And so since then, that has been the tool that I use to work with business owners, and ultimately what I do is help business owners get more of what they want out of their business more quickly with less pain and agony. The reason I use EOS is simply because it's just the best tool that I found to get people where they want as quickly as possible. Make sense? So you should also know that if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to interject. That would help me. I'm much better at conversation than monologue, although I can certainly do monologue with the best of them. I've got 2 books up here, Traction, that document EOS, and I will tell you, I'm going to give them to the audience, but I'm going to be erring on the side of whoever participates most with me, just so you know. I'm bribing you to engage with me. So if you have any questions, always advance.
I was just going to joke around and say, good job so far.
All right, thank you. All right, so as solopreneurs, so EOS, a lot of my clients, I have these 2 broad target market bases of clients, and some of them are the big companies, 10 to 250 people, and for them it is a brilliant and powerful tool for them to be able to manage all their people problems, because when you get to that size, that's really ultimately when I ask what's your strategic issue, and I ask you, so if you think what's your biggest strategic issue right now in your business, think that through for a second. And I can tell you, if I ask CEOs of big companies, 8 times out of 10, it's people issues. They're frustrated with what their people do, what they don't do, and so EOS is magnificent for doing that. I've recently started working with solopreneurs. I put together a group of 6 solopreneurs, and I bring EOS to them. And what I found is the bigger issues for solopreneurs is how many of you would say your biggest issues are people problems? Not many. My own, yeah. I need more people. How many of you would say your biggest strategic challenge is marketing? And I forgot I was going to tell you guys to all close your eyes. So for this next piece, everybody close your eyes so you can't see what each other does. And so how many of you are satisfied with your particular marketing? This is a marketing group. How many of you are fully satisfied? Okay, you can open your eyes now. So you don't have to, this is a marketing group, you're all marketing professionals, and we don't do a great job. I teach this stuff and I struggle with marketing all the time. So it's a difficult challenge. And so what we're going to do today, I'm going to go through the tool set and we're going to talk about EOS, but I'm going to try to dial it in so that you get something out of this in the 40 minutes we have. And so I'm going to go through all of it, but I'm going to blow through some of the stuff that's really there for bigger companies. I'm going to cherry pick for you guys. As I was going through the frustrations that people feel. And ultimately, EOS is a system of very simple, pragmatic tools that if you use them in your business, you will be working on the right things. You will be able to come up with better solutions to your problem, and you will move forward more quickly. There's nothing in EOS that really solves any of your business problems, but it gets you to the place where you can solve them better yourself. And for you guys, what I'm going to dial in is marketing, because you can also use these tools with your clients, because I find clients are very frustrating when you're trying to work with them on their marketing. I'll explain more what I mean by that. So there are 6 key components of EOS, and I'm just going to breeze through these pretty quickly. So vision is getting everybody on the same page with where you're going, how you're going to get there. And that's really important for a big company with a lot of people. And I think that there's a way that solopreneurs think that it's less important for them because you don't have a lot of people. And I'm telling you, it's just so profoundly important. When I work with customers, and I see this with marketing people work with clients, and the biggest frustration I see with marketing people with their clients is the client doesn't know who they are. They've hired you to produce a public identity for them, and you're going to give them tools and help them do that. But when you ask them to tell you about themselves, they don't really know in any specificity or detail, right? And so what they think is that you're going to answer these questions. What's your target market? Basically, when you ask them what's your target market, it's like anybody that has money that they'll give it to you. And it's like, you can't do anything with that. So you've got to then be this business analyst with them to define who their business is. And so you have to do that. So what's the vision of the business to make yourself marketable? The second key component is people. Again, we're not going to worry about that here. There's some brilliant tools here that are useful if you've got it. How many of you have business partner? Really powerful tools. Pay attention to those tools because it can really help resolve some partnership issues. And if I miss that in these things, let me know. And it's very powerful for if you've got lots of people. But figuring out, Jim Collins told us we need the right people on the bus and we need to get them in the right seat, but he didn't tell us how to do it. And so I'm going to tell you how to do it. Very mechanical, very powerful set of tools to get great people. Data, being able to follow the facts of your business rather than just your feelings of how things are going, because I don't know if you're like me, but my feelings change from day to day. My assessment about how great my business is doing changes dramatically from day to day, and a lot of times it's not because of any facts. And so I have to, the more that I can pay attention to the facts of my business, the more I can manage my mood, make sure that I'm making good decisions along the way. And so there are some very simple tools in there. Issues is just an orientation about getting the issues out of your head and on paper. And again, if you're like me, when you're driving, you got some thought about some issue in your business, goes in your head, you stew it over, then it goes out your ear, and then another one comes in, and then just constantly, all day, every day, issues run in and out of my brain. Well, if you track those and get really good at dealing with them, it can quiet the chatter in your head. Process. Just documenting how you do your business allows you to be efficient, effective, scalable, more manageable, more profitable, more fun. And I would say that this is one key component that is almost entirely best left until you've got a lot of people in your company. And I'd say the one exception to that is nail your marketing process. Nail it. And this is one of those things that's a big struggle that almost every solopreneur has. It's like, how do I market my business? Typically, it's not real sales problems, because if I gave you a qualified lead, most of you are good enough at your craft to be able to turn a significant portion of them to customers. You just aren't getting enough leads, I find. And so marketing process. Traction is discipline and accountability. So big companies, again, you want everybody to meet their commitments, and this is a big frustration in big companies. Well, guess what? You guys have the same challenge. It's a little bit different, because what I know as solopreneurs, I bet you guys are really good at meeting your commitments to your customers. You make a commitment to your customer, you're Johnny on the spot. We're hungry, we need it, and you take good care of your identity there. But you've also making all sorts of commitments to yourself about the things that you're going to do on your business, right? So they're working in the business stuff for other people, you're meeting your commitments. But how are you meeting your own commitments to yourself? And this is where we all fall down a little bit, I think. And so having discipline and accountability as the CEO of your company rather than the person, the practitioner who's fulfilling. So those are the 6 key components. We're going to dive into vision, because this is where I think and we're going to talk a lot, spend most of our time on the VTO, Vision Traction Organizer. So vision is for big companies, and usually the way I talk about this is getting everybody on the same page with where you're going, how you're going to get there. One of the things that I found is, I talk to people all the time and ask them, do you have a good vision for your business? And I've never had anybody say no, right? So everybody sort of has the sensation of having a vision, but if I asked you to put you on the spot and said, tell me your vision, most people are caught in that and just sort of hem and haw and just don't know quite how to say that. So what is vision? We all know we need a vision for our business, but there's no standard about like how do you do that? What is in a vision? And with EOS, we've solved that for you because we've got the 8 questions, and so we call them the 8 questions. And if you answer those 8 questions, then you will have what we say is a vision. You don't have to do 9 questions. We haven't figured out how to do it in 7. 8 is the number, and if you do that, you've really nailed your vision. The reality is that if you guys are normal, you're confused about all the stuff you've got to decide about your business. I mean, every day you talk to somebody and say, well, what you need to do is this. You need to, and they're like, yeah, you're right. God, I suck. And it's just all this list of things that you need to do on your business. Well, luckily there's just these 8, and if you nail these 8, the reality is all those 150 other questions, they get resolved as well. And so, the way that this works, is sort of the tools are kind of magical in that they sort of set you down a path. If you've got to answer these questions, you not only have to answer them, but guess what? You have to answer them well. Because in truth, you can answer these questions poorly and end up with a crappy business. If you execute, bad answers to this, it's not going to turn out. So you have to have good answers to these questions. And so it's this inquiry that you're constantly in to constantly sort of refine and improve the answers to these 8 questions. And once you get to the point where you love them, clarity about what you're doing really gets crystal clear. You understand what you need to do. I don't know about you, but sometimes I get caught in this sensation that I don't know what's going on, and that I feel lost, and that I don't, and if you can connect to your vision, you have that sense of confidence, and you can project to potential customers who you are more confidently and more seductively, because people like confidence. They want to know if you know where you're going. So we're going to talk about the VTO. Those 8 questions are what are your core values? What's your core focus? What's your 10-year target? What's your marketing strategy? Your 3-year picture? Your 1-year plan? What are your quarterly rocks, and what are your issues? If you turn the page in your handout that you've got there, there's a VTO there for you. The VTO is a very powerful tool to help guide your inquiry into who you are as a business and where you're going and how you're going to get there. And so I want to talk about several of these and help you sort of see these things anew. Because how many of you have heard of core values, understand core values, know core values? And some of you aren't raising your hand, and it's just because you don't want to lift your arm or you don't know core values. Okay. Okay, so core values is a fairly well-known concept now. The problem with core values is people don't follow it and use it well. Core values is that set of beliefs that you all share in your business. It's sort of an articulation of who you are as a business. What are your sort of morals? What's your stand? What's different about you, about how you think and feel about the world? Core values tend to be very trite. Somebody says, customer service, integrity, honesty. It's just blah, 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 blah. And then they don't even really follow through on it. Core values is incredibly powerful, incredibly potent if you get it right. And I beg of you to spend the time and explore for yourself, what kind of person are you? Are you the kind of person that thinks you've got to work hard, and if somebody isn't working hard, that there's something kind of wrong with them? There's sort of this morality kind of part of it. It's like, so in my business, I had the core value of forthright, and so this is a disease I have. It's like if I have some assessment, I'm going to share it with you. It's kind of why I'm in the business that I'm in, and I think it's the right thing to do. So if you've got spinach in your teeth, I'm going to tell you. I'm sorry if that offends you, but I just think it's rude for people not to tell me that I have spinach in my teeth when I'm walking around. And so when I've got customers, we did a lot of consulting, and so if we saw something that they did that we thought it was damaging them, we shared it. It was my commitment to be forthright. I had a lot of people in my business really push back and say, Kevin, seriously, you shouldn't have said that. Now, I'm not talking about being tactless. I'm talking about sandwich method, being very nice, not judgmental. But people, a lot of times, they don't want to really hear the honest truth. Yeah.
So Kevin, in that situation, do you ask their permission, or is the expectation there, or is this just something that you're doing because you're in a consultative role, or is it something that is agreed upon? I mean, can you alleviate that by agreeing upon that before you start an engagement?
Yeah, to some degree. Yeah, and that's part of why we had it as a core value, to communicate. So if you're looking for a consultant that wants us to come in and validate your position so that you can sell yourself politically, we're not that company. And so, yeah, there's all sorts of ways that you sort of mitigate the damage done, but it's who I am, and over the years people have and so sometimes I'm probably not real good, I sometimes ask permission at the end of it, or right. So the point is, it's an authentic expression of who I am, and to wear it boldly. And I recommend that you guys do that because we have this biological reaction to somebody that doesn't take a stand. You guys have all known people that you don't know where they stand on the issues, or where they stand depends upon the person who's standing beside them. They just really don't have a position. And the reality is we are biologically predisposed to keep them at arm's length because they're a risk. We don't know what they're going to do. So you're much better off of taking a strong stand. If somebody has a strong stand that you disagree with, that's more favorable to you because you understand how to organize around them. You can be around someone that you disagree with their values, but if you don't know what their values are, they're frightening to you. And so you avoid them. And so people do this as a business. You don't want to take a stand because you don't want to push a customer away. And so what we really dial in is figure out who you are, be authentic, live it, wear it as a badge, put it on your business, have it influence every part of your business. All right, you with me?
Yeah. So how do you go about taking your personal core values and when you get 5, 10, or in your case 20, 30 employees, did you personally go about implementing that through your employees and creating that company culture that is basically revolved around how you actually are?
Yeah, no, brilliant. So one of the things that a lot of people, and I made this mistake, I got my employees in a room, I got everybody in a room, and I had them define the core values. And actually I was told to leave because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. And so I was told to leave and they came up with the core values. Bad idea, don't do it. So you're going to be here for forever. They're going to come and go. If you've got a strong set of core values, I almost don't care what they are, you will get a following. There are people just like that. And so, but if you don't declare, then the people that love you won't know. They won't be that way. So it absolutely is, using the people analyzer, where you put your core values at the top, and this is on one of your pages too. The core values at the top, the people on the left. You assess people with the plus. Do they behave consistently with that, or do they not? With a minus, or sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. That's a plus minus. And then you set the bar for your company. What is your bar? 3 pluses, 2 plus minuses. If you're less, you're not the right person for the company. I wish I'd had this tool when I had 30 people, because this is a tough assessment to make. This is a tool that makes it very easy, and this is the tool that you use with your partners, because partner problems can be some of the most gut-wrenching, health-threatening, life-altering problems that you're ever going to encounter in business. And the biggest 2 reasons that you're going to have partner issues is because you don't share the same core values, or you don't have the same ambition. And if you don't get those right, you're shackling yourself to somebody that you're going to be fighting with constantly. So this is a great tool. Does that answer your question?
Oh yeah, totally, thank you.
Yeah. So own it, it's yours, own it, be it, take responsibility for it. And so with these groups, one of the things that happens is you got to polish it. If you just answer the question, you're not going to nail it. You're just not going to nail it. You don't really know. It's just not top of mind for us who we are. So you've got to keep working on it. This is one of the things in the peer groups that I run, that we help each other, because sometimes I don't really know who I am, and you can see better who I am than I can. And so having this, so if you are going to go down this path, Make sure that you work with other people to do it because it's much more powerful. Make sure you iterate multiple times. What I ask people every time we get into this, I say, does it accurately describe you? Number one. And number two, do you love it? And some people I'll do that, I say, do you love it? And they say, yeah. I'm like, no, you don't. You know, what I'm looking for is, no, I love it. This is us. We use it all the time. Because when you do that, then it becomes real, you push it, it becomes influences everything, it shapes how you work with your clients. All right, off my bandwagon. So that's a core value. So the other key piece about sort of who you are that's really important, because remember what I'm talking about is like driving towards marketing. And so again, you want to be able to present yourself in the marketplace as this strong, confident person that knows what you're doing and is clearly understood. And so when you know what your core values are, you can have that stronger. And so your customers need to have that well defined so that you can market them well, right? So that's going to shape how you present them to the marketplace, the core values that they have. You don't have to necessarily trumpet what your core values are, but it should shape how everything looks. You know, the branding, you're producing these triggers in the marketplace that have people assume and kind of intuit the kind of core values that you have. The other key piece of that is that core focus. So core values is who you are. Core focus is like what you're accomplishing in the world using what tools. So there's two pieces. There's purpose, cause, and passion. And purpose, cause, and passion is sort of the why you're doing things. And yes, we're all doing this for money, we're all doing it for autonomy, but the reason you're doing something that you're specifically doing, there's some why. And my experience has been it's buried under years of people telling you not to pay any attention to that or some other thing. So your why is not money. There's lots of ways you have to, the reason you work is for money. The reason you do what you do is for some other reason. And the more that you can identify that, the more you can connect with it, the more that you can redirect your offer of your business to be what you love. To be in that inquiry about what really matters to you. And ultimately it gets down to influencing people. When I first started this process for me to sort of recalibrate my business, and really I was committed to just loving my job and to making a difference, I had to figure out who I cared about, because the reality is I don't care about everybody, sadly. So this is a difficult realization, it's like, no, really, I don't care about them, I don't, And so some people love sort of huge groups of people, and I just don't care. Ultimately, what it came down to is I love entrepreneurs, and I care deeply about the work that they do. Now that's me, it may not be you. You've got to figure out who do you care about and what are you trying to do for them. I see entrepreneurs suffering for no good reason, and it kills me, and I want to stop that suffering. And I get great satisfaction out when I work and a light bulb goes off. I had one client that started off one of these peer groups, and she was starting to talk. She said, I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing anymore. I just don't, I've forgotten why I do this. Maybe I should do something else. And we talked about how she got into it, why she did it, and we figured out, we kind of dialed in on what it was that was important to her in her work. And it lit her on fire. It re-energized her. When we all start our business, we have this passion about the things that we're going to produce, and then we start doing the work, and a lot of times that passion gets stomped out. And you've got to sort of assess for yourself, how alive is the passion in you? Because if your passion isn't strong, you can't market very well. Right? And so driving that passion. So your passion is directly connected to this purpose, cause, and passion about what you're trying to accomplish in your business. Are you guys following me? Any questions? Does anybody have like a clear sort of articulation for themselves what their purpose, cause, and passion is? Yeah.
Yes.
You want to share it? Would you share it?
My business is focused around nature and the environment. So my clients, that's what I go after, are ones that have the same passion.
Does that show up for you? How does that show up for you in your day-to-day work? Like knowing that, being connected to it.
Well, I don't know if this is what you're looking for, but if I see a beautiful wildflower, I'm going to take a picture of it and share it on my business page.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Does it help you sort of stay connected to your business? And so we all wake up some mornings and say, I just don't want to do this. I mean, I've been in business for 24 years, and it seems like every 2 years I get to this point, it's like, what in the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? I should just get a job. And I'll turn on the LinkedIn sort of like job offer sort of thing, and they start coming in. I'll do an application. I'll talk to somebody, and I'll go like, I can't do that. It's just this process I have to go through because I forget what I'm doing, and I look with them, and it's like I'm watching what they're doing, and they're doing it wrong. They're not connecting with what I'm passionate about. And so part of that process has me reconnect to what I'm passionate about, and then gets me back going. So purpose, cause, and passion, nail that. Again, polish it. You got to work with other people because what I find is people don't know what it is. I'll talk to them first and they'll say, oh, to make money. And I'm like, I don't see it in your body. Yeah.
I just wanted to comment because I've been through the BTO implementing. And at first my mission statement pretty much could have applied to any video production individual team. But then when I went through this particular exercise and think through, it was a great end result, go through that. So
yeah, and so connecting with what matters to you. See, a lot of what we're trained is you've got to figure out what the market wants, right? So you've got to do the right thing. You've got all sorts of business analysts telling you, well, this is what you need to do. It's like, bullshit. Pay attention to what you want, what you see, and if you connect to that purely, and you communicate it in the marketplace, there is a market. Now, there are exceptions to this. If you just, I like to beat people up, well, actually, so.
I've been through this, so I might not be what you're looking for because it is polished, but my purpose, cause, and passion is to help local businesses grow.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then my niche is next. I don't know if you're ready for me to share that yet.
Sure, go ahead.
And so the second part of it is by clarifying and defining their marketing strategies in a way that anybody in the company can implement afterwards. And I use
Yeah, so the niche is like product category, and it's what's your particular tool set? What are you brilliant at using? So you a hammer guy, or you a air gun guy? And so the way that you described it, that makes a lot of sense for your business. I was looking for anybody here of Ikigai.
What?
Ikigai. It's this concept of connecting with what you love, what you're good at, what people will pay for, and what the world needs. So if you can figure out, if you can be in your work all of those things, that's the intersection of those three circles is called Ikigai, and it's like that's a satisfying, brilliant life.
How do you spell it?
Ikigai. I've got a picture, and when I'm done here, I'll look for it in my.
Is it a Japanese word?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it.
So what I see when I see people stand up, so I started working with the peer groups because I'm in these like referral groups, and people stand up and give their elevator pitch. And what I saw was, how many of you guys been here? And whenever I see this, it's like we just don't do a very good job of this, And what people look at, what they try to do is they try to figure out how to change the words, how to switch the words around. And what I know is that they can't articulate a compelling elevator pitch because they don't know who they are. Because once you really connect to who you are, all of the words out of your mouth are compelling. You don't have to be this dramatic wordsmith, although wordsmithing helps a lot, don't get me wrong. But when you connect to that, you're much more likely to be able to something that says, wow, that's cool, I want to meet you. Mostly when I hear elevator pitches, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So since you're so honest about everything, when we're done here, I know that we're going to be doing elevator pitches
Oh,
for everyone.
uh-oh.
Will you give us a quick yes or no on that?
Yeses or nos are really tough for me. But if you want to talk to me privately, I'll try to, Forthright is no longer my core value. I'm just kidding. So I want to go through some of these more quickly. So these are really important for the big companies. you know, so some people that I work with in these peer groups, what I find is they are pretty good. They do know who they are, but they don't necessarily are not connected with what they're trying to accomplish, and they don't have a good plan for that. And so EOS, the VTO, is really good planning. So this 2-page document is really a strategic plan for your business. I worked for GLEQ for about 8 years. And it's a business plan competition. I connected the coaches to the people, and I can tell you, I love the work that we did, but business plan format template is sort of documented not good for your business. If you search for business plan and business success, you will see lots of evidence that suggests they're either not correlated or negatively correlated. But if you look up business planning and business success, you'll see a very strong correlation. So the business plan tradition that we have sucks. And so this is what you need to do. I've looked at hundreds of business plans. Almost nowhere did they talk about any action. It's like, what? So how is this a plan then? This is a market analysis. So 10-year target, what's that thing in the distant thing that you're trying to accomplish in the future? Nail that, figure it out for yourself, make it so that it's compelling, make it, I know what people have got it right when they say it, they can't say it without grinning.
Should that be the impact or the result that you want your business to have, or is that about your business? So should mine be, I want a $10 million business, or
Shouldn't be money.
I want to impact?
It's generally impact, but I would say that you've got to connect authentically with who you are. Mm-hmm. Aristotle said 2,000 years ago that the life well lived is one of service. Happiness comes from service to others. I think that really is, there's something there for human beings. The most meaningful stuff comes from being of service to others. But I will tell you that the first 10 years of my life in my business, authentically what I wanted was money. And if I'd have said anything else, it would have been a lie. And so, be honest. Some people are creating art. And there's a big part of me too that I struggle with that. I'm creating art in my business. That's compelling to me. I want something beautiful. And yeah, it'd be nice if people got benefit out of it. I'm trying to evolve myself to be deeply feeling anyway. So not so much the money. So target market. So one of the things here, what I really encourage people to do is scrap the notion of target market. Think of who do you love? Who is your best customer? If you had all your customers, some customers you'd wish you never met them, right? And some customers you just adore them, and you're like, God, if I had 100 of these, I would jump out of bed.
Can I interrupt you and tell a quick story?
Yeah.
I had a client that was not good for me at all for a long time, and I put a lot of time into it, and it really hurt. The whole process really hurt. And I had this book because George told me to get it, and the day that he finally fired me, I had time, and I picked up this book, and I realized within the core values section that if I had set those values first, I never would have taken him on as a client. Yeah. Because he didn't match any of my 6 values. And I would have known that, and I would have said, no, have a nice day. And it all became so clear, the whole world opened up, I felt so much better, it was Christmas, I was able to enjoy Christmas.
Awesome.
So, very important.
I talk to people about what's going on in their business, and we all are sort of gripped in this sort of fuzzy, the language is always fuzzy, and they don't know, and they're talking about people issues, it's all fuzzy, and when you nail the core values, when you nail your purpose, cause, and passion, when you nail these things, all those sort of debates become very crystal clear, like you said, it's like the light comes on, it's like, oh, duh! Yeah. Why did I ever think that would work?
Yeah.
So I have a quick question going off of what you said.
Yeah.
So let's say you're just starting out, you're just starting to get clients and you ramp up your business. How do you decide who to say yes to and who to say no to in the very
right. So marketing is not telling you who to take business from. So marketing is how you present yourself in the marketplace. So my plea for you is nail who you love very tightly, and also nail what makes you brilliant figure out that intersection. And whenever you're speaking to somebody, speak your brilliance and speak as though you're speaking to your ideal customer. That way, when you're talking to a whole bunch of people, you're going to be like a magnet to that needle in the haystack, the person you love. And the reality is, if I speak to you as like I'm going to try to come up with messaging that will appeal to everybody, because I want all the business I can, then nobody's going to give a shit about what anything I say. If, however, I dial a little tight little bullseye around you and say, I'm only men, only 20-something, I don't know, maybe, that's all I do, and I'm just, and I have this good story, then other people around, they'll be like, well, I'm not in your target market, but you think you could help me too? And then you say whatever you want to say.
Okay.
But it'll sharpen your messaging in a way. I like to, when you're writing any copy, when you're figuring out your marketing, pick a person, like you're talking to that person. If somebody, all right. 3-year picture, you want to come up with enough detail here so that you can see it, feel it, know what it's like. So I'm not going to, I got probably 5 minutes. So 1-year plan, so these are standard, everybody knows you got to do this kind of planning. The reality is it will never really work unless you pay attention to it along the way. But I will tell you that part of the practice with EOS is you fill out the VTO, you review it every quarter, and so once you get it nailed, what you're doing is every quarter you're looking at it, trying to figure out whether it's still a fit for you, and then what you're really trying to do is get to the point where you figure out what do I need to accomplish in the next 90 days. And then that's what you focus on. This kind of goes out the window a little bit. You cannot remember. Biologically, we just can't remember. We're not long horizon of time beings. We are very in the moment. So if we think and hold 90 days, that's about as good as we can do. After 89 days, we forget why we're doing, and then we got to do another quarter of it. So the point of all that is for you in your business to really dial in on what are you going to accomplish in the next 90 days. Get really good at that. And these are the strategic work on the business kinds of things that you've got to do. And then you've got to check it. So I'm going to blow through a bunch of stuff. We already did the people analyzer. This is right seat. This is a very powerful tool. So the accountability chart, and when I work with big companies, nobody knows what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, it's ridiculous. I've seen this for the last 30 years. I've been doing this kind of work. There's the roles, people are and it's unnecessary. The tools for specifying your accountability chart are dead on in the book, and read it. And for big companies, that's just, oh my God, you got to do this. For you guys, the reason this is important is you've got to design your company, figure out what the functions are, and then figure out what the roles are in each one of these functions so that you can figure out what to delegate. Because you got to figure out the stuff that you're brilliant at, the stuff that you suck at, the stuff that you love at, the stuff that you hate. Delegate the stuff that you are not good at, and so that'll show up. That process of filling out your accountability chart with your name in every box will have you go, oh, this box, that's number 1, someday. And that'll compel you forward. Get it, want it, capacity, that'll sort of help you make the assessment. Scorecard, for you guys, we say 5 to 15 numbers to help you anticipate the future situation. For you guys, most likely, it's 1 to 3 numbers. And I encourage you to do this. Figure out 1 to 3 numbers and make a deal with your marketing and go back as far as possible. And so this is my tool to help me manage my marketing. This is my marketing process tool. And my number is conversations per day, with people. So if I talk to George in the morning and we email 3 times, that's 1. If I talk to a client, so I had it at 20. I did that really well for about 6 weeks.
Conversations a day?
Yeah.
Wow.
About killed me. I'm kind of an introvert, so after 6, I think that's when I turned on LinkedIn again. And so now it's 18. So we'll see how I can do with 18. It's a lot, but so part of what I'm doing is like figuring these out. So I'm coming up with the metrics, and I'm referral marketing. And if you guys are doing referral marketing, what I can tell you is most of the tradition about how to do referral marketing don't work. That doesn't include it. So I'm actually working on a set of tools to manage referral marketing. If you're interested in it, come talk to me and I'll share those with you. But pick a number. So for me, it's conversations for day. Whatever it is for you, pick that number. I'm telling you, it gets fun. I write down the names. It's this thing I got to do, and then each one of these boxes I got to put an 18. And then if I don't have it by Saturday, then I catch up. So you got to do some measurables will help you stay motivated, stay on track. Issues. Writing your issues down, having a place to store them, to get them out of your head and have them on a timeline when you're going to solve them. Processes, again, do your marketing process. Traction, level 10 meetings. So there's something that you need to do to keep track. So having an accountability buddy. That's part of what I'm doing with my peer group. We meet once a month. And one of the things that we do is we review. How's your scorecard? Are you on track or off track? How are you doing on your rocks? On track or off track? In big companies, we meet once a week. Maybe you got an accountability buddy, you meet with them once every other week. You go through these, and then this is where we talk about those issues. We kept track of them in a certain place, and well, you have to solve them someplace. The level 10 meeting is where you solve them. How many of you are awesome at solving your problems in your own head? It's okay. But solving it with a bunch of other people is so much better. So having that accountability buddy, issue solving buddy makes a big difference. So those are the tools of EOS, and I tried to make it specific for you, for your things that you're doing. There's obviously a lot more. The book Traction, there's more in that handout that I gave you. I'm available. I love business. I'm here to support. I'm here to help. My ethic is help first. So if you have any questions or comments, I would love to talk to you.
All right, thank you. Can you join me? Great information. Again, another time where I wish LA2M was about 2 or 3 hours, because I think we could have continued this and there'd be another 30 questions. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. I knew Kevin had a lot of material to cover, so I wanted to kind of cut down the Q&A. So if you have some more questions, maybe come on up afterwards, and he can maybe spend a few minutes with you, and you can exchange cards, and he can count you as one of his conversations for today. So maybe we can help get 10 of those conversations today.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
So great information. I mean, as marketers and as business owners, these are the types of tools that help us and guide us in our business decisions, and it's really great, and that's one of the goals of the LA2M and the organization, is to bring tools to you guys that you can have at your disposal and make available to you, so that you understand them and learn them, and hopefully it'll help you grow and market your business. So we appreciate so much the conversation and the information you provided, Kevin. I apologize at the beginning, the no microphone screwed me all up, so it was a kind of a quick introduction, so I apologize for that. So we're gonna, normally at the end of LA2M, we pass the microphone. I don't have the microphone. They took it away and didn't bring it back, so it apparently is not working. But we will stand up if you would like to. We'll go around the room. There's a smaller crowd today. Tell us your name, tell us your company.
YouTube videos and shorten them and make them cool for Instagram, stuff like that. So that's it, and come say hi if you want, guys.
Hi, I'm Billy Ma. I have been showing up in these kind of places for many years. I guess I'm almost in every field, kind of like in education, in retail, alternative energy, and environment, and health, and so on.
I'm Kaylin. My company is Byway Creative. I do graphic design for nonprofits, small businesses, and individuals. And my focus is on nature-inspired graphic design.
Can I interrupt this real quick? I forgot to tell you, there's these little, if you want some more information from me, you can just put your business card here and check off what you want. I forgot that I put these on the table. I suck at marketing.
I was going to mention that.
Hi, I'm Kathy Wilder, and I work with a financial analyst on forecasting strategies, and I'm also the secretary of the Kiwanis Club of Ann Arbor. We have 147 members, and over the last 34 years, we have donated about $6 million to various nonprofit organizations here in Washington County.
Hi, my name is Linda Baker, and I do business development for a nonprofit. And I wanted to come here and thank you, Kevin, for this information today, because I'm trying to decide if I might want to do something else, and it was great information to start getting things going in my head. So
Yeah, good.
Okay, so my name is Brock Lahart. I'm a software distributor. I sell to manufacturing companies, and my niche is the quality control processes.
Welcome. My name is George. My company is Brainstream Creative. Our mission and purpose is giving our clients voices life through video. I primarily work with small businesses that are interested in using video to promote, to grow, and they're not sure how. They're looking for a high level of quality, and they need someone to bring them through concept, through creation. Primarily focused on working with companies that are in the performance racing and architecture space this year. I know it's kind of an interesting combo, but.
Hey everyone, my name is Josh Stutzman. I work with Sweetwater's Coffee and Tea. With the marketing team, I do project development. So as our company is expanding into new franchises, I'm personally expanding the online shop of our business. So that's currently some new objectives that I'm handling. So I would love to network with anyone who has some experience with that.
My name is Bud Gibson. I'm the director of EMU's Center for Digital Engagement. Our aim is actually to become a premier provider of early stage digital marketing talent in Southeast Michigan. Ask today is we are looking for nonprofit organizations to work with in our classes. So if you happen to know of any of those, please send them out.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Belcher, and I am a business growth strategist. So I'm a trained accountant, and I have a lot of marketing experience. I have combined the two to where I actually use a lot of these VTO traction elements in my process, and I help businesses. I start with a 10-year goal. Where do you want to be? How much money do you I know not supposed to be about money, but there's always a number.
It's about money.
Yeah, I can't turn off that accountant part of my brain, and so then I help your business grow, either by scaling or adding new employees, new products, finding new clients. I do some social media development in that process, working with AdWords and Facebook ads, and my specific target market is artists, musicians, and local businesses, especially non-traditional ones. So let me know if you need anything.
I'm Roger Rayle. I'm a venture catalyst. I help with a lot of networking groups and do a lot of live stream recording of video for worthy events like this one. Try to get enough paid gigs for other worthy events so that I can continue doing all the pro bono stuff I do. So one of the things I've done is I've started Ann Arbor Video Interest Group like 3.5 years ago. George is a member, Carter's a member. Tal, you need to come. In fact, our meeting for June is tonight, but it's not going to be at the normal place at Carlisle's. We didn't have a topic, so we decided to just have an informal get-together at top of the park.
Oh, fun. My client Adam is performing. Cheer loudly.
Weather permitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll if it's rainy, we won't be hanging on the grove. We'll go someplace nearby. So that's something to check out. A2VIG.org. And what else? Yeah. So there's Tech Trek Friday.
That's right.
Tech Talks from 10 till 1, which are TED-like talks about all the technology that's going on in this community. And the Tech Trek, you walk around and see 40 or 50 companies that are interested.
They're spread out, so there's 30 or 40.
You probably won't get to them all, but so that's going on too. So there's a lot of good stuff going.
Carter, you just walked in, but
I'm here to see Rod.
got it. So Carter,
Carter Shoreline Frog Print Studios. I'm a commercial editorial, portrait photographer, videographer, drone pilot. Getting too big tonight. I photograph a lot of meetings like this, but I pretty much anything except for weddings is my subject matter. If you're a runner, you can always see me because I'm at races every weekend. If you're into golf, we were at the LPGA tournament. I was there pretty much every day. Shooting that is one for a number of clients. Rayle Sports Motivations, my main client. I shoot for cranes, shoot for whatever. I guess I fall into the, my clients are everybody, and we're not supposed to do that, but that's what I do.
Well, you don't do weddings. So.
I don't do weddings.
Yeah, don't do weddings.
If it's really interesting, and it
unless there's a lot of money.
I will eat my words.
Do bar mitzvah.
I did do it. I can do weddings. And I explained to them I don't really do weddings, so this is going to be like the covering an event.
See how that works?
Yes.
It's not about the money, it's the amount.
Exactly, right. So thank you. And I will attest for Carter because I'm fortunate in my runs each month to see Carter, and I got on his video this month. I actually saw it at the start, so I actually went out of the way to get on it. I actually learned that when I see Carter, if I start yelling soon enough, he'll take my picture because he's taking so many pictures. I'll be like, Carter, did you get my picture? Because I didn't even see you. And so now I start yelling 50 yards in advance so he sees me. And he did send me a really nice picture from last month's run.
17,000 people.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see everybody. So thank you, Carter. We appreciate Carter and Roger's time, Kathy, and volunteering your time. And again, if you're interested in being a part of LA2M, come see me or you reply to my email that I sent you guys, and be happy to get the dialogue going. Like I said, we have a couple people that have come forward that we'll be reaching out to get involved with the organization. So again, thank you, Kevin, for the great information. Thank you for bringing literature. We don't usually get stuff leave behind, so we appreciate the visuals. Again, Kevin's little attachment here is if you want some information or would like to have some dialogue with Kevin, please fill this out and get this to him. On your table, there's a little card, LA2M. We appreciate you being here. We'd love for you to share LA2M. So take one or a couple, pass them out to your colleagues. We're here the second Wednesday of every month, so we'll be back in July. Second Wednesday, I think it's the 12th. We have a great speaker again next month, Henry Balanon, who has been here before, was a part of Detroit Labs and his own company Stratus. He's now part of a new startup in Detroit called Autobooks, and he's coming to talk about the digital tools that will help you market your business. So it'll be another great talk. So we're looking forward to that. Hope everybody has a wonderful day. Take a card with you. Thank you again, Kevin. If you need to talk to Kevin, he'll make himself available. But thank you everybody for coming and have a great day. Thanks.
Will you make yourself available, Kevin?
Sorry. For most people.
Not for me, huh? Okay.
Hi, I really would like to, I'm Stephanie. I would really like to hear about how you got started.
Okay.
So I don't know if that is something that, it's a longer conversation.
So,
I mean, I kind of